What is going on, guys? It is your role model of the IWCO. Wait a minute, maybe it's the A-lister of the IWC. I'm just fucking with y'all. I just have a mid shirt for whatever reason. I don't really know why I got it, to be honest with you. But yeah. Today we have Monday Night Raw, and we have a review for it. First time I've done a review in a few weeks. Been busy with work. I have a full week of work starting tomorrow, from Tuesday all the way up until Sunday. I'm not looking forward to that, but it is what it is. But first, before we get started here, I want to shout out my YouTube brother, one of my good friends on Twitter, one of my good friends. I've done a few collaborations with my fellow YouTuber here, Joseph Conlon of the Big Fight Field channel. Big shout out to you, my friend, because today, on August 9th, it is his birthday. He turned 19 today. So big shout out to Joseph Conlon. I know he was at Monday Night Raw for the event tonight. He's down in Orlando, so hopefully everything's going good for you if you're watching, Joseph, and happy birthday for you. Hope you had a great birthday. But then let's get into the real stuff. Let's get into Monday Night Raw. Whether you want to believe it or not, Monday Night Raw was not a terrible show. It wasn't a terrible show. It was watchable. It was passable. It wasn't a good show. It's not a show I'd ever go back and watch a second time. It's not a show that I would go back and even watch a single segment more than once. But the show was passable. It didn't make me want to flip the channel. It wasn't necessarily entertaining where I was at the edge of my seat, but it also wasn't frustrating to the point where I wanted to turn it off. It was a boring show, but it wasn't a terrible head-scratching show like some of the shows we've seen that WWE produce. And we started off this Monday Night Raw with the return of Randy Orton coming out with a mustache like your boy, except a little bit thinner, because you know Randy Orton can't mess with my beautiful facial hair. He shaves. But Randy Orton came out with the mustache, came out the hoodie, came out in the shorts. Randy Orton looked absolutely fantastic. He looked like $1 million walking out there tonight. And then as soon as he gets in the ring, we hear it, bro. And we see Riddle come on down to the ring, and he says, Randy, I've missed you, bro. Bro, where did you go? He said he thought Randy was hiding at one point. Maybe he went on vacation. And then he said, but at the end, I just realized I just missed you, and I'm happy that you're finally back. 25 years ago, my stepdad went to get some milk, and he got lost. But you, Randy, bro, you came back, and we are going to be RKBRO once again. And then Randy says, why would we team together again? Why? You've been doing fine for yourself without me and without your stepdad. And I can do fine by myself. Riddle says, do you not want to be a part of the team anymore, Randy? And Randy says that they were a good team in the past. Then we have AJ Styles come on down with Omos. AJ says this is just too sweet. It's just too sweet. He says, Riddle, I don't know why you're trusting Randy. I don't know why you're asking him this. Randy, he's a Viper. He's an apex predator. He's a legend killer. These are just nicknames that he has gotten because he uses others to get where he wants to be. So why would you believe that he wants to be your friend? You're silly, Riddle, AJ says. But AJ says the thing he didn't think would end up breaking Riddle. He thought maybe breaking the scooter, throwing him around, having Omos throw him around. He said the last thing he thought would have broke Riddle is a broken heart from Randy Orton. Then Randy says he gets it. He's been sitting alongside the last 7 weeks, and all he's seen is AJ Styles run his mouth. The only thing bigger than his ego is that jackass, referring to Omos. And then AJ says, that's cap. That's cap. And then he's like, he's not a jackass. You know what, AJ? Yes, he is. Omos is a jackass. I don't care. No disrespect to Omos. I just like the word jackass. AJ then says, you know what, Randy, why don't we see who really runs Raw at the end of the night? I want to face you in the main event. Randy Orton accepts. AJ leaves the ring. Randy then distracts Omos. Riddle attempts an RKO onto Omos. Omos stops him and hits a choke slam. And then Randy Orton sitting there as he rolls out to the ring. You shouldn't have tried. You should have just walked away. Just not having any empathy towards Riddle, his former RKBRO brethren there. And then we got a man that I feel so bad for. I love the character, but I also feel so bad for him at the same time because it is literally sad watching this man each and every single week. It's depressing. It literally is depressing. And it was Baron Corbin who was being interviewed about Drew McIntyre. He says that it's been hard times lately, as we all know, and he needs money. He's lost everything. He's lost the house. He's lost his cars. He's lost the crown. He's lost his wife. He's lost his kids. He's a homeless man now. Last week, he was living in a production truck. And when he was in that production truck, he received a phone call from Jinder Mahal. And Jinder Mahal offered him an opportunity, which he's not excited about, but it is about beating Drew McIntyre and facing Drew McIntyre and his sword. Then we get a Drew interview where he says Jinder's scared because of the sword. No shit, you have a fucking device or contraption that could stab and kill somebody. I know that they're not gonna do that, but still, I'd be fucking afraid of somebody with a fucking sword too. Who's showing up to a fist fight with a goddamn sword and not being scared? What the fuck are you on, Drew? And I don't even understand the fucking point of this sword. But he said he's starting to think that Corbin's pathetic, and he says, should I feel sympathy? I don't think I should, because once upon a time, Baron Corbin was a bad human being, and he beat up a homeless man and took him for all of his money, and then came and bragged about it. And then he goes on to say something about how the sword is named after his mother, Angela. It's his mother, and his mother was told to abort him at one point, but she didn't. She said she'd rather herself die than have him die. Very sensitive topic there. But she fought for him, and she ended up having cancer as well, and somehow that ties into making Corbin realize karma because it's going to be a bitch for him. I don't know. That's not the kind of story that you like to hear, really. Especially when it really doesn't tie. I mean, they tried to tie it into the sword. I don't really understand that. I'm not discrediting anything. I'm not sitting here and I'm not going to insult Drew McIntyre about the story, because that's a little bit of a topic that hits home for me because I know people, and people in my family have had situations where they could have been aborted at one point because of complications either with the pregnancy or what they expected them to come out as. So I'm not going to really sit there and criticize the story necessarily. More so, I don't really know what that has to do with the damn sword. I don't mind you telling the story and getting that sort of rub, especially since it's kind of giving the fan base a personal insight into what makes you you and why you fight and why you want to achieve all these things and why you are the man that you are because you were inspired off of your mother's courage. I understand that, but I don't know what the fuck it has to do with the damn sword. I just don't understand that. Then we got into the match, Corbin versus Drew. I don't really know what you expect me to tell you. Corbin, for the most part, didn't really do much. He did get a little bit of offense in, but Drew just beat the shit out of him for the most part. Then he said, you know what, I feel bad for you. How much money do you need to get by for a few days? He gave Baron Corbin an opportunity to say how much he would need to get by a few days for showers and everything. Showers, food, a place to stay for a few days. And Baron Corbin, for a few days, asked for $100K. Drew laughs and says, you know what, why don't we make it a little bit more reasonable? How about $200K? Then he said, how about $300K? And how about 3, 2, 1? And then he claymored him and beat Baron Corbin. I don't really know what Baron Corbin did to deserve this. I'm not joking. I don't necessarily think Baron Corbin is going to be a guy that I can sit here and give the same praise as I give to guys like Keith Lee, Ricochet, and all those people that I really fight for. But Baron Corbin is so much above just this depressed, this homeless type of character. It literally makes you feel sorry for the guy. It literally makes you feel sorry for him. And if you were an outsider looking in and you didn't really know what Baron Corbin used to be, you would legitimately think that Baron Corbin probably did something in the company to either sabotage the company, to piss off Vince McMahon, to piss off Kevin Dunn, Bruce Pritchard, one of the elites, Nick Khan. You'd think he did something. Maybe crashed into their car or something in the parking lot, and they're holding it against him. I don't really know. But you look at not Jinder Mahal. You look at Baron Corbin, and it's just sad. It is literally just sad. It's pathetic, and they're right. It is pathetic looking at Baron Corbin. And it's not necessarily Baron Corbin's fault. It's pathetic because they legitimately made this dude look like probably one of the biggest losers I think I've ever seen. I'm not a huge Baron Corbin fan, but I appreciate the guy's work. I'm not gonna sit here and act like I hate the guy, because I met the guy. I think he's a perfectly fine wrestler. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you he should win world championships. I love him in the mid card scene with like Intercontinental Championships, the United States Championships. I personally loved him back when he was King Corbin. He just looks sad, man. It's just a sad sight to see every time Corbin's on TV. Then we had Jinder Mahal come out with his boys. Drew McIntyre grabs the sword, holds them off. I don't really know what the fuck is happening, man. Drew McIntyre is one of the only people I can think of in WWE history outside of Akira Tozawa with the 24/7/11 bullshit title. He is literally one of the only people, and especially one of the big top names of people that I think I have ever seen carry a sword with them to fight people off. Triple H had this sledgehammer, but he didn't come around just walking around with a sledgehammer all the time. He'd get it from under the ring, hit some people with it. I mean, yes, he did sometimes have the sledgehammer with him, but he's not going to sit there and march everywhere, every single step with a sledgehammer strapped on his back like Drew McIntyre carries that goddamn sword. The fuck is this? Is it the Pirates of the Caribbean? I know there was a theme for WrestleMania. That there was this pirate theme. I understand that, but what the fuck does the sword got to do with anything? Why the fuck do we have a goddamn sword? I can't get over this fucking shit, man. What is the purpose? That literally gives zero sort of credibility, zero sort of storyline. It makes zero sense. It can't be used in a match without being cheating. It just makes zero sense. Get the damn sword off the damn show. That's all I gotta say. If there's one thing that I will hang my head out going out towards SummerSlam, one of the biggest wishes, I don't care. The shows can continue to be asked because I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm not used to it. Get this goddamn sword off the fucking show. I'm being serious. I'm being serious. That is one of the most irritating goddamn things I think I've ever fucking seen. Get the damn sword off the goddamn show. It has no place being in a goddamn wrestling show. This ain't fucking Pirates of the Caribbean. This ain't the fucking fencing that they were doing in the Olympics with the goddamn fucking fencing sticks or whatever the fuck they're called. It just makes zero sense to me, man. Then we had Riddle. Riddle came riding his scooter on the back, and then he comes up to Randy Orton. He says, Randy, I know that you don't want to tag with me, but can we still be friends? Can I be in your corner tonight? Come on, bro. Just let me be there for you. Randy says, I'm very serious that we're not doing this anymore, and don't call me bro. Whatever. You got Riddle looking as sad as Baron Corbin from earlier in the night. Then we got I was gonna say Matt. I wish it was Matt Hardy because that means I'd be watching a show that actually could put a smile on my face rather than a show that's. I mean, this show didn't make me pull out my hair or just get frustrated. This show just made me feel. This show really made me just give him one of these looks where I'm just like sitting there the whole night. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. It wasn't all happy and joyous. It also wasn't. What the fuck, man? I mean, it was a better show than what WWE usually does. But if it was Matt Hardy, it would be a whole different scenario. It'd be more than likely smiles and happy thoughts and not having to worry about a goddamn show that has literally no passion behind it. Um, Jeff Hardy versus Carrion Cross. A rematch from the fuck up that they did on night one of Carrion Cross debuting without Scarlett Bordeaux, without Scarlett, without Bespoke. I don't know if you guys know this, but in NXT, when Carrion Cross comes out to his music, and the end is near. The end is near. Fall and pray. You know who sings that and does that up in the smoke? It ain't Carrion Cross. They get the up close shots of Scarlett doing that. Main roster Carrion Cross, I'm not even joking, he feels lame. He literally feels lame. I was looking at Carrion Cross, and I was like, this guy's a fucking geek. If you didn't know the NXT Carrion Cross, why wouldn't you feel the same way that I felt about looking at him tonight? He looks stupid. He looks like a geek. There's no big aura to him anymore. Cross won. Good. He should have won the first time he ever even stepped foot on Raw. I don't know why he lost. But he won in dominant fashion, which he should. Well, he didn't win in dominant fashion. He should be winning in dominant fashion, but it took him a little bit to pick up the pace. But once he got going, he won. Then we had a RKBRO package where we had them go over the introduction of RKBRO. Riddle got interviewed. He said he was sad that Randy didn't want to be partners with him anymore, but he had to respect what Randy do because that's what Randy do. I don't know. And he said, you know what I gotta do? I'm a stallion, so I gotta ride. And rode off on his scooter. I don't know what it is about Riddle, man. He's one of those guys. He'll make you roll your eyes because he's so cringy. But Riddle's one of the guys on this show that actually can put a smile on my face. Because this guy, he's got that corny kind of jokes that just give it you a little grin, little bit of a grin. Even if you're having a bad day, if you come back from work and you had the shittiest day possible, you found out your girlfriend cheated on you, you got fired from your job. You could come in there, sad mother. You could be Baron Corbin. You could be the Baron Corbin of the world, where your wife left you, the kids were gone, you're homeless now, they took everything from you. You could be all sad. You listen to one Matt Riddle segment, it'll give you a little bit of happiness. I don't know what it is about Matt Riddle, man, but that guy is talented at putting smiles on people's faces. Speaking of smiles on people's faces, holy shit, this put a fucking smile on my face for a fucking million other reasons. It fucking put a smile on my face because of how fucking terrible this was, and it made me realize that the fucking ratings are going to continue to fucking drop. That's when they'll learn, is when there's just nobody watching the damn show. But we had Alexa Bliss, fucking steal the gimmick. It's not her fault, but she stole the gimmick. Going up against Doudrop. Doudrop had an advantage at one point because Eva Marie interfered in the match. She lured Alexa over. Alexa grabbed the arm, doing all that voodoo, trying to do that voodoo shit that I fucking hate, and you all know I fucking hate it. It ain't the same like Bray Wyatt where he's no-selling. This motherfucker's literally using the Force on people. So that happens. Doudrop gains an advantage, and Doudrop had the complete advantage, and then Doudrop looks behind herself, and she sees the goddamn doll Lily do one of these at her. Hit her with the little wink. That was the most childish shit I think I've ever seen. I legitimately thought for a second that I fucking flipped channels and I was watching Pee-wee fucking Herman. Pee-wee's Playhouse. That's what I thought I was on for a second. I had to hit the guide button, see, am I still watching Raw? What the fuck did I just witness? A goddamn doll winked? And then that scares Doudrop into a roll-up pin. What the fuck? You think we're that fucking stupid? That's the most fucking childish shit I've ever seen. That's the most childish shit I've ever seen. That might have been appealing back when I was watching Pee Wee Herman and Blue's Clues and fucking Handy Manny and all that bullshit that I used to watch back in the day when they actually knew how to put on decent television shows. That's really what we're doing now. We're having fucking inanimate objects fucking wink at us, do one of these, and then scare dude drop. Yeah, really? Really? You think we're that fucking stupid? You might have a fan base that's young enough that will believe in that shit, but you ain't getting a lot of people to believe in that, man. A lot of people are just like, what the fuck is that shit, man? What am I supposed to do when I see a fucking grown-ass woman fucking doing a choke across the ring? When I watch Star Wars, I suspend my reality belief because they literally make it known that it is in a different universe. They have all these extra creatures. They got the Yodas. They got the Chewbaccas. They got the fucking little furry-ass motherfuckers. Whatever the fucking called. Played it in fucking Battlefront. The fucking Ewoks. That's what they're called. They got them fuckers. They got a fucking R2-D2. Got the fucking gold-ass motherfucker. We know that is a fucking different-ass planet. We are on a fucking planet where we're human. We're not gonna fucking be able to use the force on somebody. What the fuck are we doing? The fuck are we doing? Get that shit off my fucking TV. I'm sorry, Alexa Bliss. I hate to say it because Alexa Bliss, before she got involved with this whole Bray Wyatt shit, actually was growing on me. I think she's gotten better in the ring. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. You might think I'm crazy for saying that. If you do, I don't give a fuck. Go fuck yourself. I don't give a shit. I really don't. I think Alexa Bliss came a long way from what she was, and I think she was a talented in-ring individual. I'm not saying she was on the level of a Sasha Banks or a Bayley or whomever. I'm saying she was okay. She was serviceable. And now it's a fucking embarrassment because I don't even want to fucking see her close to a ring. She shows up at the Performance Center. That's still being too close to the goddamn ring. Then we get into Miz, Morrison, all that extra shit. Morrison says that Damian Priest is dry. Miz says he can't stand him. Then Sheamus comes in and he says he can't stand obnoxious people. The Miz says, who are you talking about? He says, Morrison. And he said, Priest is after my gold, so I'm going to have to go out there tonight and I'm going to have to crush Ricochet. And he says, Morrison, you better get your job done tonight. So we get Sheamus versus Ricochet in a number one contender match, except for the fact that Damian Priest is literally already the number one contender for Sheamus' championship. So that should have been telling us who was going to win. Sheamus won. I don't know what the fuck the purpose of that match was. Then we got Priest and Morrison. Obviously, Priest was going to win that. We had the fucking water bullshit with the dripstick in between Priest and Miz and all that extra shit. And then afterwards, we had a fucking thing where Priest said, you know what, Summerslam, I'm gonna beat your ass, or whatever. SummerSlam, hopefully Damian Priest picks up the championship. That's all I gotta say. Damian Priest much better than what they have done with him. Then we see a segment with Mansoor. Mansoor apologizes to Ali and gives him a new jacket. Ali says, you know what, I don't want to hear your apology. I just need you to watch and learn tonight. He says, all you gotta do tonight is watch and learn. That's all you gotta do. Is believe in myself. Believe me, Ali, if he is watching and learning about you, then he is going to have a miserable career. And it's not even because of you. It is because, for some reason, for some odd reason, the WWE hates you. They will never push you. You lost your opportunity when Kofi ended up taking it from you. You will never be pushed in the WWE, and you can't do a damn thing about it, even though you're one of the most talented wrestlers they got on their entire main roster. That's nothing against you, Ali, but Vince McMahon has an agenda, and you aren't it. Then we get a promo before the match between T-Bar and Ali, where T-Bar says, "Tonight is proof that size always matters." Okay. Thank you for the sexual innuendo there, T-Bar. I looked at Twitter and literally everybody said about the same thing, that felt very weird to be saying. Okay. But yeah, T-Bar wasted no time making Ali look foolish. Ali at one point tried to make a little bit of a comeback, but he didn't. Ali hit a transition from a roll-up into a spike DDT, which was pretty cool. Then he failed a coup de grace. T-Bar then hit him with the knee to the jaw and picked up the victory. Then Mansoor came out and ran both T-Bar and Mace out of the ring. What do you want me to say? We're going to more than likely, if I'm a guessing man, we're going to end up in a situation where Ali and Mansoor team up against T-Bar and Mace on the Summerslam pre-show. That's what I think this is leading towards. And hopefully we can finally move Ali and Mansoor into something much bigger and better, because both of those guys are guys I believe in. Speaking about guys I believe in, Reginald actually is a guy that I think is fairly entertaining, kind of like R-Truth. Now, does that mean that this 24/7/11 bullshit title deserves to be on the show? Absolutely not. Reginald is an entertaining guy when it comes to the flips. He does the flips, he does the handstand, he does all that extra shit, the Matrix type of shit. It's entertaining, but the 24/7 title, the extra roll-up stuff, really doesn't need to be there. He was doing a photo shoot. Tozawa comes up, tries to roll him up. Truth interferes, and then we see him do flips all the way out of the arena. And then we see R-Truth and Tozawa argue with each other. Who cares at the end of the night? Reginald is an entertaining guy. R-Truth is an entertaining guy, but at the end of the day, this literally adds nothing to the show. Then we had Bobby Lashley and MVP come out to cut a promo against Goldberg and say that his career will be over at SummerSlam. When you slander MVP, you slander the Almighty. And he says you do not bring your family to the shows, because if you were wise, you wouldn't bring your son, because anything can happen at a WWE show. Because last week, MVP could not cough, he could not sneeze or laugh, but it's okay because this ain't no laughing matter. He says, Goldberg, I beg you to leave Gage at home on SummerSlam night. Tell him not to show up. You know what? You might as well not show up too, Goldberg. You know what? I'd give you a standing fucking ovation if you didn't show up, motherfucker. I will fucking... I'm not even joking, Goldberg. Send me your Venmo and I will Venmo you $15 on the spot. If you... I know that's not a lot for you, but I swear to God, the sentiment will be there. I will Venmo you $15 if you send me your Venmo and you skip SummerSlam. I will actually do that. But yeah, he said he's going to humiliate and end his career at SummerSlam. Hopefully that is true. Is it likely? Probably not. Oh my gosh, man. Then we get Rhea Ripley in an interview where she says, I gotta give props to Nikki A.S.H. Why the fuck don't we just call her Nikki Ash? I fucking hate the fact that it even was changed from Nikki Cross, and the fact that you have to spell out A-S-H instead of just saying Ash is even stupider. Just say Nikki Ash. Who the fuck wants to spell shit out? Fuck. You think your former guy in NXT, Neville, you think they call him P-A-C? Pac? Pac? Which one do you think? Because it ain't P-A-C. Now, you can pronounce it Pac. I don't really give a fuck how the fuck you pronounce it. Do you think Mox is M-O-X? Do you think he comes to the ring, John M-O-X? I know it's not as long as me, but whatever. It's not Mox, but whatever. Miro, you think they say, coming out to the ring, standing at whatever the fuck his size is, M-I-R-O. You see how stupid that shit sounds? Just say Nikki Ash. Just say Nikki Ash, please. Rhea basically guarantees she's going to walk out of SummerSlam as a champion. I really don't give a fuck, Rhea Ripley. I don't want to see you as a champion ever again. Because she said that almost being a superhero isn't good enough to stay the champion. Guess what, Rhea Ripley? You weren't good enough to remain the women's champion as well. So you should not be speaking on the matter. Hopefully Becky Lynch comes back sooner rather than later and fucking ends this misery of a women's division that we are currently in with Rhea Ripley, with Nikki ASH, with Charlotte Flair. Hopefully this shit is almost over. I was talking to one of my boys earlier tonight, and I was saying, when is she coming back? We need her back sooner rather than later. And from what I understood, from what he understood, is we might be looking somewhere a little bit closer to October. September, October-ish. Somewhere in between that range. So it might be a few more weeks before we see Becky Lynch return. Hopefully it's at SummerSlam. More than likely, it probably won't be, though. Then we got into the main event, which was Randy Orton versus AJ Styles. Basically went the way I tweeted out it was going to go. I said more than likely we were going to see Omos interfere, which sort of happened. He was sitting on the outside, but kind of like teasing, which would lead to Riddle coming out, which Riddle came out, attacked Omos, and then I figured that we would end up seeing Randy lose still, and then hit an RKO on Riddle, but Randy hit an RKO off of a phenomenal forearm from AJ, won the match. Then Riddle came in, he said, will you accept me back, whatever, they hugged. They're going to pose around, and then Randy Orton hits an RKO. I think everybody saw it coming from a mile away. I still feel like Orton, Riddle, and AJ and Omos is probably the SummerSlam match because they really don't have any sort of direction for the Raw Championship, Tag Team Championships at SummerSlam. They have literally no other option other than RK-Bro. So maybe they could sell this off as Riddle forgiving Randy Orton, or Orton saying that was more so a nostalgia thing, because he felt the crowd just ready for an RKO. But yeah, I fully expect them to be winning a Tag Team Championship at SummerSlam, regardless of what happened at the end of the show. Other than that, I really don't have much else to say about the show. The show was average. It wasn't good. It wasn't bad. It wasn't frustrating. It also wasn't anything that made you that hyped. We are literally almost to SummerSlam. SummerSlam is 12 days away, and I literally don't feel any sort of excitement for the show outside of Roman Reigns, and outside of Edge, and outside of... I want to say Lashley, but I really can't say Lashley because I don't give a single fuck about his opponent with Goldberg. So, Seth and Edge, I guess, and then Roman and Cena, I guess, are probably the only really two things that I actually have investment in at this point. Everything else kind of feels lame. What matches do we have announced for SummerSlam right now? I'm not gonna lie to you. I really don't know. I know that women's match, which is gonna be a fucking train wreck. I hope everybody's ready to use the fucking restroom for that shit. Yep, Bianca, Sasha, really don't care. Sasha hopefully wins. Bianca needs to get the fuck out of here. Mysterios and Usos, once again, I don't know what you want to say. Usos shouldn't even really be the tag team champions. Then the Sheamus match, which hopefully Damian Priest wins, but once again, not really invested in it. Yeah, this card's going to be terrible. I'm sure it's going to be an okay card when it comes to being in-ring talent, but there's no investment in this show. There's literally none. That's all I really got to tell y'all tonight. Thank y'all for watching. You know where to find me on social medias. GamersGoonYT on Twitter. thegoongameryt on the Instagram. Once again, shout out to my brother Joseph Conlon. Going out there to Orlando to watch Raw tonight. It wasn't a terrible show. It's better than what it has been in the past. So at least you have that. And also, happy 19th birthday to you, my friend. My Bulls played earlier tonight. They did not look so hot. Busy week for me coming up in work this week, so I don't know what I'm going to be doing when it comes to videos. I really don't know. I think I'll be able to get an AEW video out, because I think I work during the day on Wednesday. Friday, I don't think I'm putting a SmackDown out. Saturday, Sunday, from right now, I work, I believe. So, I really don't know what to tell y'all. I only gotta get through 2 more weekends, though. I got this weekend. Next weekend, I'm off all weekend, thank Christ. And then the weekend after that, I'm done working for the summer, because I'm going to be going back to college about 2 weeks after that. But definitely stop by tomorrow on my Twitter page, because I will be sharing out a tweet or some sort of announcement regarding a podcast that I am joining for the foreseeable future. Now, I might still have some conflictions over the next few weeks with my work schedule, and I might have to miss a few episodes. But I've already told those individuals that I'm going to be doing a podcast with, which we are going to be trying to make into a weekly thing, 2 times a week type of thing is what it sounded like right now, on Tuesdays and Thursdays for y'all. But I will be sitting down with them tomorrow and giving my thoughts and everything that we are going to be going over tomorrow. So definitely pay attention to my social medias for that, because that is going to be where you're going to hear the announcement first. Because I don't want to give out the names just yet. I want them to make the announcement, because I'm not the main guy behind it. They asked me to come be a part of the thing. I'm more than willing to come be a part of the thing. But hey, listen, it ain't my idea. It's not my idea to bring out to the world. So I want to respect them, waiting for when they think the right opportunity is. And then obviously, once that opportunity strikes, I will quote tweet it, I will shout it out, and I will do everything in my power to make sure that we do the best damn numbers we can do, because we have for probably the last 3-4 years been some of the best damn minds in all of the IWC. When you match the names that we orchestrated together and you put them on the show, you get some pretty damn good takes. And that's what I plan on bringing to y'all tomorrow. I got a long list of the I'm not really gonna show you too much, but you know, I can't get it on the screen really. I can't get it to yeah, but like look at how yeah. I got a lot of stuff to go over, man. I got a lot of stuff to go over. A lot of notes on it too. Looking forward to that tomorrow. I will be shouting that out. Whether or not that gets shouted out before I go to work or not depends on when it gets uploaded, to be honest with you. But big shout outs to everybody involved in that project, and I will be shouting them out. Name each name once they announce it, because I want to respect it and let them come out and announce it, because it is their baby. I'm just a part of it. I'm just a name that they thought was fit to bring in, which I am honored to be. Anyways, I'm going to get on out of here. Make sure you like this video. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you comment. Make sure you do all of that fun shit, man, because we are the best damn show here on YouTube each and every single big show, because I cannot sit here and tell you that each and every week, because I have been having a fucking stressful ass fucking summer, and my upload schedule has been fucked. But anyways, I will be here each and every big show opportunity at least, and once we hopefully bridge this gap on the 27th, which is my last day at work, once that happens, I'm a free man. I'm a free man. I'm going to be putting out a lot of content. I cannot guarantee how long that content does go, because I do also have to go back to school in the middle of September. So I will have about 2 weeks of consistent content, and then maybe a little bit of a drop-off. But I plan, once I get back to school, to be able to, because I will be having my own sort of, I'm gonna call it my studio. I'm gonna call it my studio. I'm going to be on my own time once again. I might have to do some papers and some stuff, but I'm going to be able to relax and vibe and watch wrestling some more than what I've been able to do with this crazy-ass schedule I have. Anyways, I'm going to get on out of here. Thank y'all for watching, and I'll see y'all next time.